Now we're going to start looking at the seasonings, figure out what we want to make first, and start mixing some seasoning. All right, you guys all ready?
Yep. Yay.
All right, here we go. Okay, so we've got our ground venison all ready to go in this lug. Our ground pork's all ready to go in that lug. So we're going to get some weights on this quick so we know how much we've got to work with so we can start figuring out what we want to make. So Mom's going to get the lug of venison on there. Survey says 46.1 pounds. Okay, let's weigh the pork real quick. We already tared the scale for the weight of one of the lugs. And so for pork, 40.70. Okay, so the first thing we're going to make up out of our meat is this Lem Backwoods Jalapeno Summer Sausage. And so we can see right here on the package, the full package seasons 25 pounds of meat. And that would be the combination of both venison and pork. So we're doing roughly 2/3 venison, 1/3 pork. So just to make the math easy, we're going to do 16 pounds of venison, 9 pounds of pork. So we've got our scale tared here with this container on it. So Mom's going to grab 16 pounds of venison. Come on this side of you. So we're at 6. 9. Getting closer. 12.8. Another pound or so. Okay, so we got 16 pounds there. So now we need 9 pounds of pork to go on top of that. All right, so Mom's going to dump the 16 pounds of venison into that lug. And then we're going to grab 9 pounds of pork here. £5, 7, 8, and 9. Okay, so now we can combine the two. There we go. Okay, so now can one of you grab the mixed meat lug, and we're gonna go put it in the mixer. And Mom's gonna work on that real quick here. So here, let's slide the whole thing this way a little bit. That way you can fit a meat lug next to it. Okay, so Lee's gonna load the meat into the mixer. And we can fit all 25 pounds in here, no problem. And while he's doing that, so the mixer does a really good job, but as you'll see here in a little bit, sometimes meat gets in the corners and whatnot where the paddles on the mixer can't necessarily get it. And that's where a big honking spatula like this comes in handy. We picked these up at Sam's Club, kind of like a commercial grade spatula. So we can use that to kind of help take down the sides where meat gets stuck in the side of it.
That's all of it.
That's everything. Okay, so now let's go back over here. So on the seasoning, it will tell us how much water we need in there. How many ounces of water was that, Mom?
25 ounces.
25?
The entire package is 25 ounces.
Yep, and it makes 25 pounds of meat. So for every 1 pound of meat, you need an ounce of water. We're going to put in the whole package here. And you kind of got to slow because it'll puff out and about gag you here. All right. Oh, I can get it already. It's coming out the backside. And it looks like there's a cure packet in there too. Hold on. Mom's got more to put in there yet. Oh my gosh. You want to... You want to do that in a controlled pour, because boy, if you get a whiff of that, looks like a oh god, I can't even. Like a science experiment going on in there. Okay, so yeah, Lee's gonna put the pitcher mixer in there. So this works really well. We used to do this in like a mixing bowl with a whisk, but we found this works really good because then once it's done, we can just pour it right into the mixer. Don't spill it. Hold on to it with both hands. There you go. All right. I think you got that pretty good. So yeah, go ahead and turn that.
I can't stop.
Okay. So come on over here. And then I'm going to turn the mixer on. And then Lee's just going to slowly pour this over the meat. Make sure you kind of get back and forth.
Oh, man.
Is this summer sausage or what?
Yep, this is going to be jalapeno summer sausage. Yeah, we're actually going to put some high temp cheddar cheese in with it too.
What about Coltswan? That stuff is kind of good.
That's going to be
Okay.
This is what
So go put just a skosh of water in there and slosh it around. We'll get that last bit of goodie out of there.
This is what it is.
It's going to be so much fun.
You can see here the mixer's doing a pretty good job on its own. But as I mentioned earlier, so you can kind of see like right here where this paddle isn't quite reaching that, you can kind of help some of that along a little bit. Kind of get it off the edge. Just watch out, it might grab your spatula and you just, so Lee's gonna, look at that. Oh yeah, that's good stuff. And then the key is make sure you wash your mix pitcher out real good before we go to the next batch of whatever. Otherwise we're going to have remnants of jalapeno in there too. All right. So we're going to let the mixer run here. Actually, we're going to shut it off.
There's some that's not mixed.
Yep. So the smart move is, the safe one, shut it off instead of just sticking your spatula in there. So I'm going to take down some of these sides and whatnot that get that mixed in good. Okay, we're going to turn it back on here. Let it mix some more. All right, let's see what we got there. So we got some high temp cheddar cheese that we're going to mix in with the jalapeno cheddar, and we're just going to kind of shake this in. We're using the whole bag on this as well. Got her in there now. Okay, so everything is mixed up. So now Lee is going to pull that little handle on the side of it, and then this just tilts right down in. Right into the meat lug. Mom's going to use that spatula.
Sure.
a little meat in here.
Here, let me hold it. That way you can see in there.
Seems really thick.
Hmm?
Seems really thick.
You can get your hands in there too if you want. Actually, here, let's
Yeah.
hold that for a second, Lee. So this knob is what allows it to pivot. This knob is what holds the paddles in there. So if I pull on this, they can go ahead and pull the paddle clear out. There we go. That's easier than trying to... I got this, Lee. So then it all just kind of comes out in one big ball with the paddle. Okay, the lug's about ready to go.
Use your...
I got for two.
Looks like it mixed pretty well. Okay. So now we'll... Yep. There we go. Now the basin's locked back in there. You can just hang that up. There is our mixed meat. Yep, just go ahead and set that there. So another pro tip, as Amber's pointed out here, when we end up with a bunch of these lugs of meat around, sometimes you forget what was what. Always save the packages, especially so once we take them in and out of the smoker. Like right now I can tell this is jalapeno and cheddar because it's the cheddar chunks in there. But once it's in the casings, it gets really confusing which ones are which. So always save the packages because it makes it way easier to keep track of later. Right, guys?
Yeah, a lot easier.
All right. On to the next one. Pink.
So it's all mixed up, so we'll go to the grinder and dump it in.
This is smoked Polish sausage that we're mixing up right now. It makes 25 pounds of meat as well, but we change our ratio a little bit. We used to do 2/3 venison, 1/3 pork on the Polish sausage. We found out that we like it a little bit better if we do 50-50 on the Polish sausage. Sometimes when you're grilling those dogs on the grill, it can dry out really fast. So we found the more pork, the better on those. So 50-50 on our Polish sausage or bratwurst that we do on the grill. All right, so we have everything mixed and ready to go into the stuffing process. So I'll show you what we've got ready here. So on the bench, we've got 5 pounds of breakfast sausage. That's half venison, half pork. We've got about 8 pounds of just straight pork Cajun sausage. We got 25 pounds of smoked Polish. That was about 50% deer, 50% pork. And then we got 25 pounds of regular summer sausage and 25 pounds of jalapeno cheddar summer sausage. And those were mixed at 2/3 venison, 1/3 pork. So that's our meat. We've got basically 5 different end products here.